Hello everyone, my name is Neomustic. Welcome to this next tutorial on how to make cartoonish textures. I don't want my cursor to be up there. Someone asked me to do a moss type texture, so let's first check out what moss looks like. As you can see, I'm on the Portuguese Google because I'm in Portugal right now. Last time I was in France. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but yeah, I also said that my connection was really slow, so this is the proof. It takes a while before it loads in any images, but yeah, let's give it a second. Okay, so as you can see, there's different types of moss. You've got these lumpy, bumpy kind of things, you've got this blanket type of moss, and the summer kind. This is basically dried moss. I don't know which kind of moss you wanted me to make, but for this video I'll be doing something like this. If you want a different kind, like the strings kind of moss, just let me know and I'll see what I can do for you. Like this one, it will take a lot more work to do something like this, but it's possible. Same with this one, it's possible. But yeah, for this video we'll be making a moss kind like you see over here. Also note that this is the first time that I do this, so please forgive me if I do something, if I screw up every now and then. Okay, so in Blender, again, we'll need to open our UV editor. Stupid cursor. Make it as big as possible. A new thing, a new page called moss in this case. Yeah, I think this is good enough. Normally I do a little bit bigger, but for now I think this is good enough. Instead of view, I'm going to go to paint mode again. I'm going to press T to open my painting tools. Now I have some different tools that I can use for painting. I don't know where I place them, but I know I've got different tools for painting. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's just use the random ones. With textures, I know I can do it. I've got a list of textures and brushes that I can use, but let's keep it to the standard ones, seeing I'm not sure if you guys have those. So in tiling, again, X and Y tiling, so if we go like this, you can see it pop up on the other side. Same over there, because we'll be making a retileable texture. I'm going to go for a very, very dark color. I'm going to fill this with that very, very dark color. Let's put this trained up. Still not dark enough for me. I'm going to go for almost black, like this. If you zoom out, it's pretty dark. Now I'm going to take a lighter color. I'm going to go to my text draw, and I'm going to up my radius a lot. So now I'm going to draw in some spots just at random, because we'll be making different types of, well, different colors for the moss, like so. One more over here. I'm going to go a little bit lighter, maybe that's too light, like so. One over here, again just a tiny bit lighter. Over here a bump, and let's do one like so over there as well. So this is basically going to be our starting point for the moss texture. Also, as you could see on the image, it has some darker edges. We'll be doing those as well. The top one, the top will be a lot brighter, and we'll be using many different, well, not too many, but a couple different types. And I forgot to up my strength. I don't want them to overlap. As you can see here, you can see the edges over here as well. I don't want something like that to happen, so I'm going to go over the older mosses again. This is a big one, like so. A little bit less dark. Again, I'm going to go over these mosses. I'm going to put this one underneath the other one. A little touch over there and a little one over here. Again, a little bit lighter for the other ones. Again, I'm going to make one go over it and the other one underneath it. Here a little bit and over here. So we do have a little bit of the edges showing, but not too much. And let's do one on the sides as well. Over there it's good, over here it's good. Okay, so this is going to be our starting point for our moss texture. If I go to this object and I'm going to go to the materials tab. If I up this and reduce the specularity, and I add in no, it's not the image generated. Yeah, how did I do it? Right, I need a new material, so I need to go to objects, texture paint, add UV samples, sample slot, diffuse color, mossy. This is just an example, you guys don't need to do this. And I make this, where's texture? Add texture. Come on, Neo. Okay, over here. So if I go to, if I save this one, image, save as image on my desktop called moss, so I know where it is. And over here I make it an image for a movie. I'll make it moss. Okay, so now I can use this texture. I can reduce the size, and if I paint, you see nothing because I have no lights attached to this. Okay, a point over here, just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, so if I paint over this, it should pop up the texture over there. But why isn't it? Yes, I'm using this texture. Okay, as you can see, it does pop up, but it's not very big. So yeah, as you can see, you can paint in the mossy texture like so. Now it's popping up here as well, but it's really dark for some reason, and I don't know why. Let's see if this is better. It's not, but yeah, as you can see, you've got your mossy texture on top of there. There should be a way to brighten it, but as you can see, you can just paint your mossy texture all over this object. Yeah. Okay, so that's why I needed to up this. So yeah, as you can see, you can just paint the texture all over this. Can you please shut up? So yeah, this is the start of our little mossy texture. As you can see, it kind of looks like well, army colors, but we're going to change that right now. Also, if I reduce the radius, you can see that you can get these different tones on top of it. If I up it, you get these big spots, and if you blur it out, you get nice blurred things. Let's see with mask. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. But yeah, this is basically our moss texture. I'm going to go back to object mode. I'm going to load in moss again. And I'm going to go back to what we were doing. Okay, so we were painting our little moss. I'm going to go to the white, reduce the strength by a lot, and I'm just going to paint in. Great, that's not what I wanted. I need to delete this one. Okay, so I'm just going to paint in some little details to the moss, and that's actually still too bright. I need to get a really soft whitish tone. Like this. And yeah, god damn it. You can use really soft tones to do this. I mean, the colors, I just made it this visible so you guys know what I mean, but you can use really soft tones to do that. So you can barely see any difference instead of what I'm doing here. Okay, now the next thing that I'll need to do, and I don't think I want to use this texture, I want to use another texture which I didn't make yet, but that's no problem. So I'm not going to do that actually. I'm going to go to the black one, just tap in some spots, random spots. For this one I do need to up the strength. So random spots all over the place. And then accentuate some sides if you want. You don't have to do this, but you can accentuate these sides. There. So this is starting to look a little bit more like moss, especially if you look at it from far away. Now let's smear it all out so we get one uniform texture. Need to up the strength. And let's make the colors blend in nicely with each other. Like I said, I'm just trying this out to see what it looks like. I kind of know what I need to do, but there's a difference between knowing what to do and how to do it. Okay, so this looks kind of good to me. Next thing is going to be the text draw. And I wish I had my texture with the jittery stuff. Let's see. I need a new texture. Let's open this texture. I'm going to save this image. I'm going to open a new one. Dots. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep the black background. I'm just going to go to the paint mode. I'm going to take white and I'm just going to pull lines and make dots at random sizes and positions. Why isn't it working? Oh. So like this. like so. I'm going to save this image as, well, dots on my desktop. No, that's not saving. Image, save as image. You can also use different sizes to do this. This is just to detail our little mossy texture. Yeah, so I've got this. I'm going to go back to my moss texture where it says new texture. I'm going to select new. I'm going to select the texture that we just made. So I'm first going to put it in list over here. Dots. Okay. So now I can do new, not new. Where the hell is it? Here. So dots. And if I go over it, as you can see, it gives me the dots. What I want to do now is, instead of going that dark, that bright, I'm going to go this dark. As you can see, it gives a little bit detail, but I did it wrong. I should have done it in the opposite way. So I'm going to open the dots again. I'm going to replace the black by the blue and the blue by the black. The white by the black and the black by the white. So actually, white radius like this. Now black. Like so. I'm going to do some different directions as well. This is basically just for detailing that we're doing this. Okay, so I'm going to save this as the dots. I'm going to open the moss texture again. There we go. And now with a little bit greenish, if I do like this, you can see it pops up nicely. I'm going to reduce the strength by a lot. I'm going to up the radius. Like so, and this will give it just some details. You can also reduce the size of the brush, the radius, to get some smaller details in. There we go. And this is actually too big. But yeah, it gives a little bit more detail to what we're doing. So now I'm going to go back to my smear tool, just softly smear these out. I need a smaller brush. So this is just smearing them out to make them look like one big piece. And I should have used the noise brush instead of this one, but yeah, making your own little textures is fun as well, I guess. I should actually have used the noise, but doesn't matter. This way you guys see how to make your own real textures without using prefabs and stuff like that. There we go, we're almost done. Over here I went a little bit over the top, but yeah, it will all be fine. Okay, so this is starting to look like a mossy texture. Now let's take the noise. Where's the noise? Here, as you can see, this is the noise. If I use this one, and I go like, no, not the smear tool, the draw tool. As you can see, it gives me a lot of noise. I can up the radius, like so, and as you can see, this just gives some details which we want. I want this one to be bigger, 5, 5, 5. Okay. So again, this is just detailing that we're doing. As you can see, it adds some sort of detail, but my noise is still way too big. So 50. I'm taking away all the color of my of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so I'm going to do this like so, just some minor details. And if you look at it from afar, it does look like a mossy texture. So let's save this image as, did I save it as a moss? Yeah, I saved it as moss. If I now go to our object, texture, I've got that texture. I don't want this texture, I want this one, which reloaded itself, I hope. Let's check. Texture, no, it didn't reload itself yet. So reload. Okay, this looks better. If I lower this and I paint over this, as you can see, it looks like it has moss on top of it. I know I did a lot of useless work to achieve this, but yeah, it's moss, as you can see. If we make it a little bit darker, you can get some darker moss in here as well. And this is basically how you make moss. I hope this tutorial helped you. Have a good day.